Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is the demonstration video for how to swap out the parts for those interested in combinations of material or glow color which aren't listed on the campaign. This is your option. You need to purchase multiple units, the individual components of which contain all of the various parts you want, and then put them together as you see fit. So here we go. We have the disassembled brass unit. I'm just going to go through the different parts with you. That's the core. That's the brass portion. 2 scales. 8-006 O-rings. There's a flathead driver associated with the brass and copper unit only. 4 brass binding screws and 2 aluminum standoffs that aren't visible. They're inside the unit. Let's go ahead and disassemble the black one and then swap out the parts for these two. Okay, disassembly is easy in every case. And full disclosure, I've opened and closed this a few times, so the screws aren't as snug as they are going to be for you. But you pop them open, twirl between your thumb and forefinger. Do one side first. Take off the lid. Let the carriage drop out. Remove the pellet. Put it on the side. Remove the screws on the opposite side. If you're not interested in swapping out the screws and just want to swap out the plates with their respective screws, then you don't need to do this part. But I'm going to bring the brass hardware over to the black scales. One more. Pressing on the opposite side. Twirling. It's the same action. There's the other lid. There's the standoff with the O-rings around it. That's what compresses when the scales are screwed down and snugs the whole unit up. One of these might fall off as you're working. Here they're taken off completely. If you leave them on, that's great. Okay, just reorganized the parts a little bit, and now I'm ready to put the black scales and brass hardware over the brass core. That's personally one of my favorite combinations. So first up, black scale. Grab one of your brass screws. One of your aluminum standoffs. Screws go through these 2 outer holes. You can see those 2 that are farthest from one another. Without using the driver yet, let's just do this by hand. Nice snug fit, hand tight as it's called. Same thing on the opposite side. Now I'm demonstrating this having removed the O-rings. You may avoid that, but it's worth doing for the sake of just being thorough. So 4 O-rings per post. I would put on the first 3 because the 4th sits a little high. It's designed to do that so that there's some extra material to compress. So 3 O-rings per post, right? Grab your glow pellet, glow module, blue or green, and just slip that in. It should already fit rather snugly. Okay, in this case, brass core. You can already see that's going to look awesome. And then these last 2 remaining O-rings, just sort of get them into position. You can snug them down a little bit. Just get ready to put the lid on. kind of pinching it there between my fingers. Everything will line up just the way you need it to. Drop in your first screw. And I would tighten that first, not all the way, just enough to get it threaded so the whole assembly doesn't fall apart if you lose your grip or whatever. So that's in position very loosely. Same thing other side. These are small parts, so try to arrange your work area so that if you drop them, they won't just disappear. Very frustrating when that happens, and there's no extra hardware included. Now that I've got it all snugged up, I'm just going to bring it the rest of the way. Don't need to use a real screwdriver or real leverage. Just want to make sure that all these little screws are as tight as possible by hand. Don't overdo it. There you have it. Black aluminum over brass with brass hardware. Super nice. Okay, so there it is. We have our two modded out units. The brass with the black scales, brass hardware. Black core with copper scales, black hardware. To me, these are awesome. I just couldn't offer as many variations as are possible, but with a little imagination, a little elbow grease, clearly it's not hard to make these yourself. Standard titanium, standard natural anodized aluminum, also look great in various combinations. I love the copper over the titanium. I love the titanium over brass. All of those look amazing. Let's see what these are like without the lights on. So nice. That's an important point. Here you are. Practical use. During the day, mostly they're going to look like this. Remember, these glow in the dark. Right? They glow in the dark. Don't expect them to be glowing brighter than the daylight. Their entire purpose is to glow in the dark, just like this. Thanks, everybody. Thanks a lot for your support.